This is a good example of a real-life situation where we can create an equation to solve it, and the equation that we create is going to be a quadratic equation. So let's start by drawing a picture. We have a backyard that has an area of 1,200 square feet, so I'm going to draw a rectangular backyard. It says the length is 10 feet longer than the width. We don't know either one, so let's call the width x. And then if the length is 10 feet longer than that, that would be x plus 10. Okay, so we've got our diagram. The other thing that we know is that the area is 1,200 square feet. Well, if we're going to find the area of a rectangle, then we're going to take length times width. So that would be x times x plus 10. So that area is going to be 1,200 square feet. Now we just need to solve this equation. Let's go ahead and distribute the x, and I get x squared plus 10x equals 1,200. So here's where I see that this is a quadratic equation because I have the x squared term. So in order to solve this, let's set it equal to 0. Let's subtract 1,200 from both sides. I get x squared plus 10x minus 1,200 equals 0. Now I have a few options to solve this. I could do quadratic equation. I could do factoring. I typically resort to factoring if it's possible to factor because it's a little easier, but quadratic equation would be a legitimate method to solve this. So I'm looking for factors of negative 1,200 that add to make 10. And I think that would be negative 30 and 40. If I multiply those, I get negative 1,200. If I add them, I get 10. So when I factor, I can put x and x and minus 30 plus 40. So x minus 30 times x plus 40 is the factored form of x squared plus 10x minus 1,200. Now that I have it factored, I can use the zero product property and set each factor equal to 0. X minus 30 equals 0. X plus 40 equals 0. Those are pretty simple to solve. I get x equals 30 and x equals negative 40. Now let's go back to the context of this problem and ask ourselves, what does x mean? We defined it here in the very first step. We said that x was the width. We can't have a negative length for a width, so I'm immediately going to throw out negative 40. That just doesn't make sense in the context of this problem. So it sounds like 30 is going to be the one that I want. However, let's look at what it's asking. It's saying, what are the dimensions of the yard? It wants the dimensions, so both of them, not just the width. So we know that the width is 30 feet. We know it's feet because it says the area is in square feet. And so the length is 10 feet longer than that, x plus 10. So the length must be 40 feet. So it's a 30 by 40 yard, width 30, length 40.